we were talking about yesterday how some Black Lives Matter organizer in Chicago was saying that if you need to steal a Gucci to eat, you should do it. And I tendered the question, how does a Gucci taste? How do you eat a Gucci bag? What's the preparation? But someone who would know a lot more about this, certainly on the Gucci bag side, my good friend, model, actress, supermom, Zen Sams joins us from a blue land, apparently. Hello, Zen. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, John?
I'm doing great. I'm wondering, I know you got some thoughts on Kamala Harris. I'm wondering, if you saw any of this stuff that she's basically praising the looters, and then the Antifa website goes to JoeBiden.com. What goes on here? I mean, she's actually changed many positions overnight.
Look, this is all the phony feminism of Kamala Harris and the hypocrisy of Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Duplicitous, groundbreaking, and basically controversial are all the terms that come more quickly to my mind than this safe word people keep throwing out. I mean, look, Harris is a woman, we know that, Black, daughter of immigrants from India and Jamaica, stepmother and married to a white guy, characteristics she shares with precisely none of the previous 48 previous American vice presidents. And, as a senator, she's been a very vocal and rowdy opponent of the Trump administration. Over the course of her career as a prosecutor and California's attorney general, she's made decisions that alienated both progressive and conservatives. But it was during her 2019 campaign for the Democratic presidential nomination, her biggest moment on the debate stage came when she criticized Biden for his willingness to work with segregationists against busing to integrate schools. She's
right.
Many things, but the label safe, not so much. Last spring, when multiple women accused Biden of inappropriate touching, she said, I believe them and I respect them being able to tell their story and having the courage to do it. However, she said it, whatever. I mean, she claims that she's all for women. But I mean, I try to rationalize with what Biden must have really, what was he really thinking?
He's not thinking, Zen, he's not thinking. He's not thinking. There are people making these decisions. There are puppet masters behind there.
Oh, yeah.
They're just pushing this guy around. But I want to read you something. Georgetown University Battleground State poll, okay, just came out today, okay? Now, they said they were going to add, the vice president was going to be a black woman. That was, affirmative action from the beginning. It had to be a woman and she had to be of color, right? That's number one. And that's to try to shore up the African-American base because they were doing great. The economy was doing great. Small businesses were starting over again, right?
Yeah.
Kamala Harris, this is a new poll, just came out, okay? It was up from August 1st to August 6th, so it's a week old, this poll, okay? Harris had a 64% favorable rating among black voters, okay? So only 64% among black voters was a favorable. So where are the other 36, I wonder? 41% favorable with white voters, and 39% with Latino and Hispanic voters. So she doesn't break the high water mark on anything except the black vote, but 64% doesn't sound good. Trump's at 91 with the Republicans.
It's not okay to vote for Biden because you love the vice presidential candidate better than the presidential candidate. It's not a good reason. I mean, and dangling that carrot is extremely duplicitous because they're two hypocrites. Harris only cares about women's rights when those rights don't conflict with her career ambitions. She's long positioned herself as a feminist crusader, yet she's actively championed policies that deny women's agencies, ratcheted up female incarceration, and endangered those most basically vulnerable to sexual abuse, because along the way, she's shown an utter disregard for civil liberties and constitutional law, a tendency that now she's going to get to take to the White House if Biden is elected. And that is the scary part, John. And one of her prominent crusades, let me remind you, in recent years, has been against the classified advertising platform. I don't know if you recall, Backpage, which had inherited much of the digital sex ad market. And after the federal government had forced myredbook.com to close in 2008, Kamala spearheaded the arrest of Backpage executives on charges of pimping and conspiracy online. But females who are professional sex workers had actually credited online advertising platforms with allowing them greater independence, reducing the need to rely on pimps and curtailing the risks of their actual safety because they were able to screen the clients. And now those platforms have since been seized. Fine, we'll give her that. And the only reason she did this is because it was a bullseye for grandstanding for Ms. Kamala Harris.
No doubt.
She basically used that new visibility of prostitution ads to peddle sex trafficking hysteria and make a name for herself in the process.
Wow.
But her process is anything but honest. And in this connivingness, the connivingness is what I don't trust as a woman, because look how deep she went. The original ruling was that Congress didn't wish to hold liable these online publishers for the action of publishing third-party speech. Instead, it was for Congress, not the court, to revisit. What does Kamala do? As one of her final acts of California's top prosecutors, she filed identical charges against Backpage in another California court, a move the First Amendment Lawyers Association called a gross abuse of prosecutorial discretion.
Ouch.
And this is a part of Harris's pattern of disrespect to the process.
All right. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. I know you're excited. This is great stuff. But I don't want to miss this last point, because I want to get your point of view on it, and it matters to me and everyone else. All Zens matter, by the way. Zen, I put up some photo of her and her parents yesterday. Her dad is a Jamaican guy, a British Jamaican guy, and her mom is Indian, right? So now, there's this kind of, rumor going around that she's Asian somehow. And there's the photo from yesterday. I don't know how a Jamaican person and an Indian person makes an Asian person, but when she has all these different heritages in her, why is she only calling herself black?
Right, because right now it's the Black Lives That Matter, and her campaign matters, and she is duplicitous, and she aligns herself with only what matters to her in the moment. And this is again going into her, sorry, the sirens are on here. I apologize.
Are they coming for you?
Oh, they're coming. Yeah, she probably has spies watching me. She's probably sending them to me now. But her two worst habits, and these are very dangerous habits for the White House. It's a willingness to skirt constitutional protections when it suits her agenda, and she has public orientation towards only high-profile social justice causes, but it's all masked with behind-the-scene moves that are very duplicitous, because from the beginning, she's portrayed herself as a tough-on-crime progressive, but these habits are easy to see when the issue involves sex work, but they extend really far outside that realm. I mean, take the time she fought back against the California court ruling saying that the state couldn't keep prisoners in overcrowded conditions and deny them medical care. Her reasoning, the state needed to slave labor. The state needed the slave labor provided by mass incarceration. What? Or when she went to bat to keep Lonnie Rivera on the sex offender registry. Rivera's crime in 1989, when he was 19, he had sex with a 17-year-old now who is his wife. And now he's on a sex offender registry. For all her big talk on criminal justice reform, she fought to keep marijuana criminalized in California, but resisted efforts to deportize the arrest of non-violent drug offenders. Bravo, Kamala. She also pushed to send parents of high school students to jail for having more than 3 unexcused absences in 1 year. What?
That's crazy. All right, well, look, I don't want you to get cut off because this was an amazing appearance. I want you to do me a solid and spread it around to all you folks, because people got to know the real deal with this Kamala Harris, and we're going to try to keep bringing it to them. You go hide under your bed or something, because those cops, if they're coming for you, we need you back next week. So, lay low for a little bit. And you added a new word to my vocabulary today, connivingness. I love it.
Yeah.
Darling, thank you so much. You have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, you and the fam.
Bye. Take care, John.
All right, that's Zen Sams.